which actually facilitates leaching of the carbon component in the form of runoff or flushing that into the water bodies somehow. In summary, number seven, Miss Cadiz, unsa ni siya? Miss Cadiz, kuan ka ng brief ka ng, ay, kuan lang siya, fast lang na pakita. Tereng, ay, umaningog ka na. Unsa man to? Kani, number two and number five. So basically, there is the process of terrestrial respiration, and then number five as well, na aquatic respiration, and sa part sa land or even sa seas, napod ni siya, but involving mga small organisms, the microbes, no? So basically, as mentioned earlier, these components of forms of carbon are acted upon by the microbes, and then there is microbial respiration and decomposition. That process facilitates breakdown of materials and facilitates carbon transport in the form of leaching and runoff. Okay? Now, um, so mo ni sila atong ginaingon nga ginahin ako earlier nga slow carbon cycle, especially happening in land and the ocean. So basically, on land, carbon is stored in soil as organic carbon and in the form of decomposing organisms. Like ato akong dimension nga pwede mo namatay ang living organism, ilang dinosaur, no? So carbon stored in the soils and the rocks, and as well the fossil fuels formed from buried, compressed organic matter over millions of years. And these carbon storage are somehow used as well by the human civilization, by us. The daghang ginagamit ani for the source of energy, gasoline, no? For example, or charcoal. So, muna siya. But at the same time, these carbon-containing compounds, no, in the soil can be washed into the bodies of water through leaching. So, soil carbon enters the water bodies and reaches the ocean. And as mentioned as well, prior to leaching, there is the process of withering, now of terrestrial rocks and minerals that release carbon into the soil. Then we also have ocean uptake, no? CO2 dissolves in seawater and forms carbonate ions and binds with calcium to form the shells that we actually see. Kanang naa sa mga clams and even the corals, no? Kanang iyahang exoskeleton, kanang calcium carbonate, okay? And then we also have sedimentation, no? Shells become ocean sediments and form limestone. Basically, limestone is the largest carbon reservoir. And of course, this kind of process, the transport would take millions of years. Cebu, for example, as an island, is a karst, Karst, is a karst island and mainly um, made up of limestones. So Cebu contains carbons that basically be considered as a part of the largest carbon reservoir. And then you also have the concept of geologic processes. You have the plate subduction, which actually returns carbon into mantle, no? I, when I say subduction, is basically the movement of one tectonic plate beneath the other. Yeah, and when these are moving, there will be shaking. So muna natin ma-feel na earthquake. So that's movement of the plates. And that is part of the subduction. That's part of the processes. That's part of the carbon cycle itself too. And we also have volcanic eruptions that actually uh, splits and release or return the carbon into the land. So akong gipakita na drawing, for example, this one, no? Kani. Okay. Now, for the fast carbon cycle. For the fast carbon cycle, photosynthesis, no, which may happen in a few hours or even shorter, or continuous can happen basically every day, and then the growth of the plants, and then it dies, then it goes back to the land. So that's basically considered as fast carbon cycle. So the photosynthesis as a process, plants, algae, and cyanobacteria absorb CO2 from the atmosphere or from the outside sources and convert it into glucose using sunlight. CO2 as an inorganic compound or inorganic molecule is being used to convert into organic molecule, which is in this case glucose. Okay. And then we also have carbon transfer. So organic molecules such as starch, proteins, and lipids pass to animals via feeding, apil ka anak, no? And then respiration, or organisms break down organic molecules, releasing CO2 back to the atmosphere. So when we exhale, we are releasing CO2 and it goes back to the air and to the atmosphere. And then decomposition. You have dead matter is broken down by the decomposers. These are the bacteria or different kinds of bacteria that decompose organic compounds, and in the process, releasing not only CO2 but as well methane. So not only carbon dioxide or CO2, but as well methane, which is um, CH4. Now, one carbon with four hydrogen atoms. And then we also have reciprocal cycle. It is a photosynthesis which actually removes CO2, then respiration returns the process, returns the carbon. And then additional sources, you have CO2 is also released by volcanoes, hydrothermal vents, that's basically deep in the sea, which have some crack and releasing some compounds, no? And then combustion as well, and ocean atmosphere exchange, meaning that um, out in deep oceans, the surface there, sometimes kung mag-interact lagi more like we see that as a horizon, but we cannot clearly see that. But the atmosphere and the ocean are also interchanging. They're exchanging the the carbon between them. So it's called um, carbon atmosphere exchange. So this is the equation for the photosynthesis, and I think you are familiar with this, correct? So we have carbon dioxide plus water with um, sunlight to realize the reaction. So carbon dioxide and water, it will produce this sugar. No? A sugar general can be in different forms, but fundamental photosynthesis actually produces carbohydrates and also, of course, oxygen. So that is why the plants release oxygen as a byproduct of the photosynthesis. And in this equation, the carbon dioxide actually uses how many moles? How many moles of carbon dioxide per 6 moles of water to produce carbohydrates? moles of CO2 and 6 moles of water, when combined with the aid of sunlight, then you produce sugar. The basic product of photosynthesis is carbohydrates, and glucose in particular is composed of 6 carbons, 12 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen. In excess of this combination, 6 moles of oxygen is released by the plants as well. So these are the products, no? Sugar and oxygen. Now, naminaw mo? Wala. So number six, kasi number six. Ay, number eight, sorry. Mr. Cardenio Kent, what is number eight as part of the um, starting molecules of photosynthesis?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. The starting molecule for photosynthesis to occur is none other than carbon dioxide, sir.
Yeah, that's for the number eight, correct. So number nine, what is the um, how to call it, chemical composition of the carbon dioxide, and how many moles are used? Number nine, Miss Durai Erika May.
Good afternoon, sir. So, iyang chemical composition, sir, is 6O. So, yeah, naay two nga subscript para sa oxygen, and there are 6 moles of carbon dioxide, sir.
So when you say subscript 2 of oxygen, what does it mean?
There are two atoms of oxygen, sir.
Yes. So there are in the molecule CO2, there is 1 carbon with 2 oxygens, and CO2 is considered as inorganic. And for the process of photosynthesis, we need 6 moles, no, to be able to produce a glucose. So number 10, Miss Magdalene in Tise, no? So what is the other starting molecule of photosynthesis apart from CO2? Number 10, Miss Intise Magdalene. Where is Miss Magdalene? Wala siya? Miss Magdalene? Absent si Miss Magdalene?
Good afternoon, sir. I think, sir,
Oh,
na-disconnect siya, sir.
na-disconnect siya. Sige, so we'll go back to Miss Magdalene. So we'll just ask Miss AJ Fro from Miss
Hello,
Gift
sir.
for number 10. Instead of Miss Intise, kindly tell us the other component, the other molecule required for the photosynthesis to proceed. Getting number 10. What is this?
Sir,
Nakisa ni si Mr. AJ from his gift?
yes.
Yeah. So as you can see on the slide, on screen, I mean, na I covered nga number 10.
Oh,
And basically, yeah, so what is this? The other component, because number 8, as mentioned by Miss Cardenio, number
carbon
8 is
with
carbon dioxide. So what is number 10?
water.
Water. Okay, so water is also the other component to proceed with the photosynthesis reaction. Then, what is the chemical composition and how many moles do we need?
H2O.
H, Goria.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Sorry. Sigoria Clarence.
I think
Um,
6 carbon atoms are then H2O, sir.
okay. So when you say two, with subscript of two, what does it mean?